Alright, so the first Splatoon 2 Splatfest just ended a couple days ago, and honestly it was a ton of fun. I wasn't sure what I would think of the two new characters, Pearl and Marina, but they sort of won me over in the end. I mean, I still do miss the Squid Sisters, even though I didn't get too attached to them because I only played the original Splatoon for a couple months. These new two characters are a welcome addition, but honestly I think Pearl's kind of dumb, and I'm Team Marina all the way. So naturally I chose Team Ice Cream, and I fought for them, and apparently everyone did too. And apparently a lot of people like Marina as well. But I'll just say I think it's a good idea that they brought two new characters to introduce Splatoon 2. The Squid Sisters are fun and all, and I still am on Team Callie, but it's a nice change of pace having a new group introducing the maps to us. I hope Nintendo can do more with these characters. I hope they're not just going to introduce maps to us, sort of like Marina and Callie did. I mean, I know they had sort of a roll outside of that. I heard there was some like concerts with them and stuff too. But I want them to have more of a personality and have a story developed around them. Sort of like Marina and Callie, I think, are having the story now in Splatoon 2 campaign. I heard it's sort of about them and their adventure or whatever. I guess there's a rumor going around that Callie is like evil or something. Like, I don't really know much about it. But I'm excited to play the campaign and see the story for the Squid Sisters, and hopefully Pearl and Marina will have some sort of story development that we don't have to wait till like a Splatoon 3 to hear about. So in case you didn't hear because you weren't able to play the Splatfest, Team Ice Cream won, but honestly they won just barely. Apparently the way they do it, and again, I didn't play a Splatfest from Splatoon 1 because I started too late after the Splatfest had already ended, but apparently the way the Splatfests work in this game is they take the popularity of a team, and that gives you 1 point, whichever team is more popular, so who picked each side more. Then they take the solo battle wins, you can enter solo battle or team battles, and then they take team battle wins, and then there's 3 points available there, and whichever team has the most points wins the Splatfest. So it was Team Ice Cream versus Team Cake, and Team Ice Cream won popularity by a huge margin. I think it was like 70-30 or something. But then Team Ice Cream actually lost team battles, something like 54-46. But then Team Ice Cream ended up winning the Splatfest because they won solo battles 51-49. So technically, it was closer that Team Cake was going to win, because we only won solo battles by 1%, and they won team battles by 4%. So it was a pretty close margin there, and it could have gone either way. Imagine if like one battle had made the difference. I was actually reading this article that the fact that everyone likes Marina in this game is sort of bad for the Splatfest in the future, because people are afraid that everyone's just going to pick whatever team Marina's on. It's sort of going to steamroll in every single Splatfest. I'm sure Nintendo will find a way to work around that, maybe have them not pick sides and just have you pick. And that would be a simple fix to it, so this way people aren't picking sides just because it's their favorite character picked. But yeah, the Splatfest actually turned out pretty well. It was sort of hard to find matches, and so a lot of times you got paired up with other people on your same team, and so the battles didn't really count for anything because it was Team Ice Cream versus Team Ice Cream. By the way, I actually didn't start the Splatfest until about an hour and a half after it started because I came home late. I went to the water park with my brother. It sort of sucks, but it was a lot of fun, so I don't really regret it. But even when I came home late, I was still able to find a lot of matches. But I am a little disappointed I didn't get to the highest level. I got to Ice Cream Champion, then I didn't get to the one that was above that, which I don't remember what it was, but I wanted that highest level, even though it doesn't mean anything when the full game launches next week. Or I guess this week, because I'm recording this on Monday. Anyway, the Splatfest got me excited for the launch of Splatoon, and I wanted to talk briefly about the weapon balance. So compared to the test fire, the weapon balance I think in this Splatfest was a lot better. I think they improved on a lot of things, especially related to the Splat Charger. The Splat Charger I talked about in the Splatoon 2 test fire wasn't very powerful, just because it was hard to aim and you didn't have a lot of opportunities to take shots, especially because the maps they provided didn't have a lot of good sniping positions. But they just felt a lot more powerful here for whatever reason. I felt like I was actually able to aim with them, which like I sort of blamed it on being bad in the test fire. I was just bad with Splat Chargers. And now I feel like I'm getting more used to them, or maybe they just made it easier. Either way, I'm getting better with them. That's a good thing. They also added a feature with the Splat Charger that you can charge it up and then go in the ink for a couple seconds and you'll still have the charge. And I think that's a really cool thing. It'll be super useful and competitive if I ever try that. I don't know. The game's a lot of fun and I'm relatively good at it, I like to think, but I probably only use stuff like the Splat Roller or maybe the Splat Dualies. Or I guess the Splatter Shot, because they're all really powerful. That's what I'm saying with weapon balance. Like, all those weapons like are really good. You can give them to anyone, they'll be able to do decent. I especially like the new Splat dualies. I really love the roll effect. I was talking about this in the test fire, although I don't feel like it's as powerful, the roll effect, as it was because more people anticipate it now. It still is a really useful like feature to have, and I see more and more people using it. Now the Splat roller is really cool. I didn't think I talked about this in the test fire, but they did have it in the test fire. If you jump and swing your Splat roller, it'll now shoot a volley of ink and take out enemies that are like a decent distance away. And if you just stand there and swing it, it'll take out enemies that are in your immediate vicinity. So that's kind of cool. Now it kind of like sprays ink as well as rolls it. And so it took an already pretty powerful weapon and just added a cool new feature. But even with that cool new feature, I don't think it's overpowered. Whatever they did with the rest of the weapon balance made it set the Splat rollers at a really good place. I think it definitely is one of the more powerful weapons, but it's definitely fun to use. I never feel enraged by it. So I guess the only other thing to talk about is the new maps. Now forgive me, I don't really remember any of the names of the new maps except for that Humpback Pump Track one. I made a video about that a couple months ago and how like the lighting effects on it are kind of weird. But all the maps were dark because it's Splatfest, and I really hope that they're a lot more fun and enjoyable when they're lighter. But when it's dark like this, I don't really get the full effect of the map. I've talked about before, but I prefer bright maps over dark maps most of the time. And so the fact that all these maps were dark didn't really float in the boat, if you know what I mean. So I didn't have as good a time as I would have, but I still did like the design of the maps. I'm sure when they get back to daylight, or at least non-nighttime time, that I'll enjoy them a lot more. Like Murray Towers was a really cool one. I'm pretty sure Murray Towers was in the original Splatoon, but I liked how you could like you know, go down the ramps, and then there were some lines they added that you could swim across and get to other places. It was a lot of fun. Also on Murray Towers, no one really steamrolled that I experienced, because it's sort of hard to like completely infiltrate someone's spawn. I mean, it did happen. I mean, I know I can't think of one game where we steamrolled them and sort of got into their base, but most of the time, if you have a decent team, it's a fairly even battle, and it's a lot of fun. Humpback Pump Track was a good one, but I mean, again, like it's dark, and so I don't like it as much as I could have, but the design was fine. I mean, it's not outstanding, but it just, I like the setting more than I thought I would. The skate part's kind of cool, and I got one of the points in the map, you can see the little foam pit that you can ink, and that's pretty awesome. The other two maps, I don't remember their names. They were the first two that were available that I didn't get to play on a ton because I started late, but the one that was sort of like the stadium or whatever it was, that was pretty fun, and I can picture that being really, really cool in the daytime when it's like everything is brighter and like easier to see and stuff. I can picture that map being a lot of fun, especially since it has a good balance of Splat Charger locations and Splat Roller locations that make for some interesting combinations of play. So yeah, the first Splatoon 2 Splatfest went pretty well. I think most of the people in the community will agree that played it. There weren't a lot of connection issues, although I did experience some as I played. I got disconnected from my team a couple times, and so I ended up having to play a lot of solo battles. But to wrap things up, the new characters are really cool, the weapon balance is turning out to be great, and once the map gets a little bit lighter, which I know I've complained about a lot, the maps being too dark, but once they get back to being bright as they were intended, I'm sure I'll enjoy the maps and the design more than I do now. So yeah, that's all I really have to say. I guess one more thing I could add is the Splatoon 2, the new Splatoon 2 square is pretty interesting. I don't know if I like it better than the original, just because it's only like one layer. I don't think there's an upstairs to it, which I sort of liked about the original Splatoon 1 square, but who knows, maybe it'll surprise me. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. I just got back from Italy last week, and it was a ton of fun. I got a lot of pictures, and I'm compiling a montage to like put over commentary as I talk about my trip, hopefully. So hopefully that'll come out in about, probably won't be like a week until I get that video out. But I'm talking about all about my trip and where I went and how much fun I had. I don't really have any other big trips this summer. I am going to Indiana in a few weeks for my grandma's funeral, but other than that, I'm really not doing any big traveling, so should be time to make some more videos and have fun with family and before I have to go back to school in August. I don't know when your school starts, but our school starts usually about August 20th. It's like a week or so before my birthday, which is good because then my birthday does happen during school, which is always fun because, I don't know, in our high school they come around and give you like a little pin. As dumb as it is, it's fun having a pin. But anyway, let me know what you thought of the Splatfest in the comments if you're able to play it. If you're not able to play it, let me know why. Do you not have a Switch yet? Like, I know a lot of people still are looking for a Switch. I just checked eBay a few hours ago and it said Switches are still going for like $400 because apparently people still can't find them, which which is pretty ridiculous. Also, let me know whether you like Marina or Pearl better. I'll put a card on the top right of the screen. You can click or tap right now and vote whether you like Marina or Pearl better. I personally, like I said, like Marina better. She just looks cooler and is less edgy, I guess. Pearl is just sort of, I don't know, I'm sorry, she's kind of dumb. I mean, like, I still respect you if you like her, she seems too childish for me, I guess. I don't know. She's an edgy rapper, what can I say? Anyway, that's gonna do it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.